Welcome back. Well, under the auspices of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the 8th edition of the Global Conference of Young Parliamentarians concluded in Sharm el-Sheikh on Thursday. Well, to shed more light on this conference, we had the pleasure to have this phono with Dr. Hassan Waguih, Professor of International Relations. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Well, Dr. Waguih, as the conference of the young parliamentarians concluded today in Sharm el-Sheikh, how do you see the significance of this conference?
Yes, the significance of this conference is very clear. It shows that Egypt is preparing the way for the state level by introducing first the parliamentary level for dealing with the very compound and very complicated issues of dealing with the climate problems and the challenges that face the entire world.
Yes, so Dr. Waguih, the conference is witnessing an extensive participation of parliamentary delegations from more than 60 countries, as well as delegations from international observer organizations. So what are the issues tackled in this two-day conference?
Actually, the 60 representatives from different parliaments all over the world who belongs actually to a union that is very old in the 18th century. So it's the place that is the hub for the whole thing, and Egypt is another hub for it. It's very telling about what is happening. Actually, the most important thing is that to empower youth when it comes to the climate challenges, and also to discuss the complexities and the problems that are facing the world. Actually, what also could be said about this is how the world could create viable common ground for dealing with the most important challenging thing, which is the climate.
Yes.
Given in the picture that we are far away from, or try to get far away from, narrow-minded agendas that really make conflicts among the world. So Egypt is adopting a strategy to de-escalate any conflicts and to work for the stabilization of that world and to get a united stance regarding a challenge that faces all the nations.
Yes, so you've mentioned, sir, the climate change. The conference is a unique dialogue case towards the issue of this climate change in all its dimensions and also and levels. So as it is considered the most prominent now important issue that globally affects and the most threatening to the whole planet and its resources and capabilities. So how do you see this timing of holding this conference concerning this issue of climate change, as Egypt is about to host the COP27 next November?
Yes, actually I can connect two events that took place today. You know, you had a meeting with an economic meeting in the morning, and you have this also conference. So what is the connection? Is the economy. Economy is related to the climate change problems and the challenges. When it comes to Africa in particular, Africa could be the basket of the entire world for food. And when you are trying to seek the way how to produce new products, new crops that really is adaptable with the changes of the climate, it's extremely important. When you see the pace of the change of the climate, this means that if you'd like to protect your food sources, you have to produce new crops. And you know, issues are so interrelated. When we are talking about youth empowerment, we are talking also about women empowerment. It was discovered through many studies that a backbone of African production is women in Africa who really are getting into the agricultural field, and this is a very interesting study that I read lately. And I think that these issues, which are very interrelated, tells you about the interconnection between two conferences that took place in Egypt these days.
Yes. So, sir, how do you see the conference as a kind of cooperation and also a kind of boosting parliamentary relations among the participating countries during the future or the coming period?
Yes, I think it is extremely important because when you are talking about parliaments, you are talking about the voices of the people. So when you are starting with the voices of the people, you try to uncover what are the interests of the peoples all over the world, what are the interests of all the people all over the world, who are through the people who really represent them in parliaments. And this would be good, as I said, this is a very good step towards preparing the floor and paving the way for the big event that would take place in November on the state level.
Yes.
So I think it is very good to start with first things first. Let's start with the voice of the people, and then you see the leaders would interact on that.
Yes, so Dr. Waguih, do you think a two-day conference is enough to discuss all the issues concerning this?
Actually, no one conference in the world is enough to address
Yes.
challenges. But I think if the conference creates modalities for ongoing activities, for ongoing interaction, whether you are talking about Islamophobia or economy or climate change or any challenge that is global, I think, when I was in the United Nations University Millennium Project, we had 19 challenges facing the world. It is ongoing. It is not only for one conference and one go and that's it. This will never create the accumulation needed for fruitful policy. So I think the generating of modalities, and this modality should be at work and should have this accumulation track. It is very needed and is very important in a conference like that, and also in other conferences with global scope.
Yes, so it's a two-day conference. However, there would be, of course, a follow-up after this to the outcome and the recommendations. Could you give us your insight concerning the outcome of this conference?
Yeah, the outcome of this conference is trying to provide a solid agenda with specific topics that would really be elaborated upon when it comes to the president's level, states levels in November, God willing.
Yes, so also the Parliament Speaker Hanafi El-Gibali said that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is always keen on supporting youth in all domains within the framework of Egypt's national ambitious vision 2030, and affirmed that this is the most perfect mean to face the current challenges. How do you see his words?
Yeah, I think that when the president is giving keen interest in empowering the young, the youth, I think it is very important. Egypt itself is a very youthful country. We have more than 40% youth.
Yes.
And this is a very important block in our country that we really should have their own participation. We have to understand what do they think about issues, because there is in Egypt as well in many other countries all over the world, there is always a generation gap. So when you give interest to the youth, you try to understand how do they think, how they could be empowered, how we could have harmony between among generations, which is really needed all over the world.
Yes. Yes. So, Doctor, also the Parliament Speaker said that the discussion during the sessions of this conference were very fruitful. So, what do we expect from the echo that is left behind this conference?
Yes, as I said, it's very fruitful to have a good preparation and a good accumulation and the good specification of the agenda.
Yes.
When you have a 60 representatives from all over the world, I think agendas here are being very well made, very well prepared, and I think this is very needed for the big event in November, inshallah.
So I thank you very much for your valuable information. Thank you for your time, Dr. Hassan Waguih, Professor of International Relations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a short break and I'm going to be back with you.